Good everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of Platform App Builder Certification Series. So today we're going to talk about a few different topics to do with productivity on the Lightning platform, right? So until now we talked about process automation, we talked about we talked about flow builder, process builder, approval process. So I wanted to talk about certain different things. And for instance, I want to talk about nodes, and I want to talk about how to create a node. Then we're going to look at task, and we might look at files, right? So a few things which is very important. You might say it's a trivial, but it can be very handy at the same time, right? So let's dive into the nodes first. The first thing first, before you start with any hands-on, I would encourage you to have a free org. Please do not try this on your customer sandbox, right? So please register for free org. Okay, so I'm on my org. I've logged into my org. So what we're gonna do, let me demonstrate what I'm trying to do here, right? So let's go to the object which I've created, like beer Friday, right? So let's open it in a new tab, right? And let's go to one of this stuff, right? Okay, so now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to have an option where I can have notes where, let's say, where I can add notes when I'm dealing with a customer or okay, let me give you a better example, right? Okay, forget about this custom object because it doesn't make sense. Okay, accounts, right? Right, so account is like a customer, right? So what I wanted to do, so I have notes and attachment, right? This is attachment section, but I would like to have a place where I can type in notes, right? So that when I'm dealing with a customer, I can put write some information here, every time I interact with the customer, right? It's very handy, nice to have feature, right? So we're gonna talk about the notes and attachment later, right? So what we have to do first, right? So to enable the nodes, right? Let me you need to enable nodes from a setup. So what I meant by that is go to setup here, right? And just type out nodes and node settings, right? And enable nodes, right? And save, right? That's all you have to do. That's the first part. Cool. Now let's go to Object Manager because we're dealing with accounts here. So go to accounts, go to page layout, and go to account layout, right? And we're gonna do two options here. One is the mobile Lightning action. So we have something called new node, right? You drag and drop here. This will help you create a new node, right? And another thing we have to do is that the related list, right? So we have something called nodes. So you drag and drop here, okay, and save it, right? You save it, right? That's pretty much all I have to do. Okay, all right. Now we're gonna refresh this board here. You will see a difference. Okay, we found no duplicate for this account. See, you got a node here. Fantastic, right? So now you can say new, and say this is a demo node, right? This is a test node, right? So let's say you are interacting with a customer, right? And you wanted to write down notes associated with the conversation you had. You can write down. It's a great place to use it. It's one of the great options. You can. I've talked to a few consultants. They're not aware of this option, which is strange, but so it's good to know. It might come handy for you at some time. So, okay, so I'm gonna do done. Right now you can see that I have notes here. So if I wanted to look at it and see, oh, this is a test node. Okay, so whenever you can write down the notes here. This is interesting. Okay, so that's one thing, right? And another thing I wanted to talk about is the button, right? It's an action, if you remember. So go here, new notes. It's pretty much just the same job like this guy here, right? So you can say this is second node, right? Okay, this is a second test node, right? Fantastic. Nice, right? Pretty handy. Cool. So this is one of the nodes. I mean, you can, so if you wanted to activate nodes, right, on a different object, right, you need to go to the page layout, add to the related list, and even you can do that using the mobile in action. You can drag the button there to the respective section. Cool. So this is pretty much about the notes, right? Now we have something called notes and attachment, right? Where you drag and drop the files. So you can drag and drop any files to here, right? And once you drag and drop in file here, this file, you can see it here, which is great, right? And or if you wanted to see a file in a different place, you can go to files, right? A file object here, and you can see the files here, right? And you can also see, let's for instance, this is just a dummy file. So you wanted to see what this file is about, you can go here and you can see view file details, right? And you can see that it's shared with this specific user, and that's contact. Go to contact here, and you can go to notes and attachment, right? So this is important stuff you to know, although it's very basic, very simple. At times, you'll be surprised the simple things makes a lot of difference when you work with Salesforce, right? We tend to ignore, oh, okay, this is cool, this is simple, you can do with it, you can do whatever with it. But at the same time, these small things, right, can boost your productivity when you're working with the Lightning platform, right? Cool. So that's the simple thing, right? Now we have another thing I wanted to talk about is the search, right? Search is very important, right? So you see you have a nice option here, right? Search, and you have all this objects here, right? Let's say I wanted to search for something called John, right? And I searched it, right? And give me a lot of options here on the left hand side, like contacts. I found 2 contacts here. If I wanted to narrow down, I can narrow down here, right? That's possible as well, right? Okay, just a second. And I can narrow down by opportunity. I can narrow down my leads. You can have a look at it. So this is very, very simple options, but at the same time very handy as well. If you're not sure about something, you can search for it. Let's say I want to search for right, so it comes here, born_John. So it will actually give you option under account, right? Under contact. So it's associated with the email. I mean, what I would love to see, probably to highlight the field, but yeah, it's whatever. That's my thing, but right. So you can have so you can see all these objects are returned to 0 results. So that means that only the contacts object results the right result at this time. So that's a little bit about search, right? And then you have something called another thing, a new task. If you wanted to create a new task, let's say here related to this account, so you can say create a task. Let's say subject, please call this customer tomorrow, right? Due date, you can just put it tomorrow, right? And assign to whoever, right? So you have this upcoming task, right? That's for tomorrow. So and I can assign this to a specific person. So this is a very cool feature as well, right? And then you have a log a call, and then you have if you're when you're talking on a phone, you can log the information here. You can create a new event, right? So this is the calendar events. I'm going to talk about it. So when you can also do from here, or you can also go to tic-tac-toe icon. You can search for calendar, and you can also use this nice looking interface to double click and add the event here, right? So that's one of the options as well. So it's good to know these things, right? Because you're working on this platform, you need to know what's out there. And you can, if you wanted to send an email, you can send an email from here as well. So It's pretty nice and easy, right? Okay, so that's very basic, related to an object record, right? So now, if you wanted to create a task, right, you can go to task here. Okay, sorry, task, right, and go to task here, and you can see, there are a couple of tasks here. Check for data, right? So I can go here, and I can say new task, right, and I can say please test your code, right? So I just say due date. Sorry, please test your code. It's a part of a code review, right? Please test, say Jamie's code, right? For instance, and I sign to John Miller, so related to say account. So I'll just give an example, right? So that's pretty much, you can set up a task, and right. So this is something you can do based on your business requirement. So there is a functionality out there. Please read about it, right? You'll find tons of information on the Salesforce Help platform, right? So that's pretty much I wanted to talk about it in terms of productivity. As a tool, you need to know how this stuff works, right? So yeah. So that's why I wanted to talk about it, and it's important from a platform experience. But yeah, that's yeah. All right, that's all I wanted to talk. So greetings and ideas from New Zealand. Bye bye.